Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck This Place!
I'm eating a Vons Poke Bowl and a kombucha, and they're both very spicy. There was a great InfoWars protest in Austin today, Nick, that you might love to be a part of if you're afraid of the government.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't know, I don't know why. I assume it was like afraid of the government type of thing. I originally put the tape over my laptop, my camera, but that was years ago to the point. And it's just, I just had a very, very small piece of black electrical tape.
I just had a very small penis.
Very, very small piece. Very, very small piece of black electrical tape. So small that I forgot it was there, and I just thought my camera didn't work for a long time. And it wasn't until like Chase kind of it was like one of those things where I realized right before Chase told me that I've just mentioned, do you have your camera covered?
I do have to say, I was there for the official unveiling where I need to pull the tape off, and let me tell you, that camera was covered in goo. There was Nick was just in this goo fog.
Did you use lighter fluid?
Did I use what?
Lighter fluid?
No. I just put tape on. I didn't touch it for a long time.
He was meant to clean off the goo.
Oh, no. I used those Clorox wipes.
Oh, there you go.
All right, well,
Clorox wipes for 6 hours is what it took.
All right, well, welcome. I should intro us wherever we are. Welcome to Fuck This Place, the podcast about jobs with Chase and Nick. My name's Chase.
My name's Nick, and today our second ever returning guest.
Ooh, baby.
I said it all weird. Yes, our second ever returning guest, my good friend, one of my favorite comics to watch, and one of the best hosts, I think. One of the best hosts, I think. Newman Wolf.
Newman,
what up, Nooms?
Hey, happy to be here.
How are you doing, man? I know you're eating a lot of spicy food right now, right before this podcast.
I don't like what is happening currently
to the world.
In the world.
Okay,
I do not like it.
Yeah.
I know that might be kind of an out there view.
Uh-huh.
I know a lot of people might not share that, but I do hate it a lot. Anyways, or continue, please.
I was gonna start our first segment. Newman, are you ready?
Always. Thank you for having me on again. By the way.
I'm so glad. We're so glad you're here.
Mm-hmm.
So typically our first segment on every podcast is a segment we call Fuck This Place ? But for returning guests, we have a segment we like to call Fuck This Place Professional ?
Okay.
Where we look on, instead of Craigslist, we look on professional websites, Indeed, LinkedIn, etc. So all three of our postings today are from LinkedIn. So same rules. I'm going to read 3 titles. You pick the one you don't want to look at, and we'll look at the other 2. So title number 1 is, and these are all on LinkedIn, Boysenberry Performers Only, Invitation Only, Cedar Fair Entertainment Company. Okay. Second one is Musicians, Caribbean Soloist, Carnival Entertainment. And the last one is Hotel Director of Sales, Harper Associates. Which one do you not want to click on?
I think the last one sounded the most boring.
It is. You're a director of sales for a hotel, so yeah, it's pretty boring.
Yeah, I don't want to click on that one.
Okay, great.
I mean, is this? Am I looking for a job that I actually want?
So here's the criteria for Fuck This Place Professional. We're pretty sure we're not going to get any of these jobs, but I would say that the question that we're all trying to answer is, could you get a second interview? Could you weasel your way in enough to get a second interview?
I am almost certain that I could weasel if I really was I am going to do everything in my power to make these people think that I am capable of this role.
But again, if you're not interested in clicking on it, that's fine.
I think I would walk off the job in fits of rage and tears if I worked as the hotel manager.
Well, for sure. Okay, so then we're not going to click on that one.
I'll say no on that.
So let's start with just Boysenberry Performers Only. Invitation
Okay, so
only.
The first thing that is
Okay, so here we are. The title. So this is LinkedIn. So it's all fancy. There's like a banner of like roller coasters and a little logo that says Cedar Fair.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, but don't read ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not going to, but I want,
Please.
and I don't know because I haven't read ahead, but I want to point out that a boysenberry performer is not a thing that exists, and it is a term that they have made up. I have my ideas about what it is actually, and what I wish it were.
Okay. Well,
I really want to state that I think it is amazing that they have said this thing only that no one exists and you haven't known about until right this very moment.
Right, for sure.
Yeah,
I think the also thing that blows my mind about the title, again, boysenberry performance only. Then it says invitation only. So it's like, is this the invite?
Are you, I mean, first of all, how dare you, Chase, look at this without getting the express invitation? I
just think, what are we doing in public here? Okay, so yeah, it says Cedar Fair Entertainment Company, Buena Park, California. Posted about a month ago, so this could still be up, and it's still on LinkedIn. Okay, so then it says, this position is meant for those who have been invited to apply for this position.
I guess it's like you. How do they find you though?
I would guess that like, maybe what they're doing is inviting people to apply either internally or, I don't know, through their list. And then they say to come to this website. But again, this is a public website. So like, but who is to say that I can't just apply and say that I was invited? So the post continues and says, if you are interested in becoming a performer at Knott's Berry Farm, ding, ding.
Right.
Keep a lookout for our job posting closer to the end of the month. I don't think that one's up. Just a guess.
This is, well, it's funny that they posted this a month ago because that's already too
close.
late.
Yeah, I agree.
That was March 18th. That was 5 days after Donald Trump declared a national emergency.
Yeah.
It was on March 13th and 2 months after the first case in the United States.
Yeah, it's definitely not a forward-thinking move. Obviously.
But I mean, I guess they know that they're going to hire. They got to hire Scooby-Doo later on.
Yeah, that's true. So
yeah, what immediately jumps out at me is that they keep using the word performer when, if you needed a guitar player, you would say specifically you need a guitar player.
That's
right?
true. That's
so
true.
It's like the idea of performer. It's just like whatever this is, it's definitely wearing a giant costume.
Yeah.
It's definitely walking around the park.
And I've actually never been to Knott's Berry Farm.
Oh, really? It's bad.
Oh, is it?
I went as a kid. Yeah.
It's definitely the worst of the big three in Southern California.
I went to a wedding at the Knott's Berry Farm Hotel.
All right.
And no, it was good. It was a really good time. But what was pretty goofy was so they were doing their vows outside, and there were roller coasters going off. And so
you could hear people screaming and stuff.
Yeah. So it'd be like, do you take? It's like, do you take Robin to be your lawfully wedded wife? And then there'd be like a pause, and you hear like, in the background.
Yeah, you're about to get on the roller coaster of love. Okay, so then the first headline here, and one thing I do appreciate about the LinkedIn post is that in general they're structured well enough that you can read them. This one says, you'll make a difference. And then there's some bullet points. Interact with our guests and make their day amazing through meaningful connections. Type.
Nope.
Share your passion for creating a warm and welcoming environment with your team. What an interesting sentence, though, to me. Share your passion for creating a warm and welcoming environment with your team. Oh, I guess it's like you like to create a welcoming environment, but you don't like to do it alone. You got to do it with the team. Even
I think it's just like the team of people dressed in costumes. I don't know. Yeah. I actually want to, or I'll keep going.
Deliver fast and accurate service. What a word.
Whoa.
Accurate.
That feels aggressive to have accurate as a word in there. That feels like I'm going to get in trouble.
At minimum, at minimum, that feels like it's copied and pasted from another Knott's Berry Farm, like cashier position. You know what I mean?
That's so, okay. So fast, accurate makes sense if this was like, be a Knott's Berry Farm tour guide. Totally makes sense.
Exactly.
Totally makes sense. I have never asked a performer. I guess I've maybe asked when I was a kid at Disneyland, like Mickey, like where's
The bathroom.
Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever.
Right.
And he goes like, oh, and like points whatever.
Right. But usually it's Mickey's handler that does that.
Also, I think it would take me about 3 days of working. Let me put it this way. I don't need to be at Disneyland right now to, if I was there, point someone in the direction of something. Maybe that's because I'm saying that.
Yeah, what?
I'm not saying I can just, if you ask me right now, where's Splash Mountain? I can't go like, dude, 46 nautical north. Or like, I can't just point in a direction.
Sure.
But if I was at Disneyland right now and someone was like, where's Indiana Jones? I'd say, oh, that's in Adventureland. It's right over there by the Jungle Cruise and the Tarzan treehouse and blah, blah, and the Tiki Hut.
You know these things.
I know these things. So, but that did not require me to
perform it.
To perform or be working at that theme park.
That's fair, but I mean, people are dumb. Just to be fair,
sure, yeah.
You know,
like I'm still confused by what you just said, Newman, but I'll go with it.
What Newman is saying, it does not take a masterful professional to direct someone to locations within a well-designed theme park.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
If you went with your family, Nick, for a week and you were there for 2 days, by the end of the second day, you could be.
Oh,
tell
okay,
people.
got it. I see what you're saying.
They are looking for a genuine interest in making people feel welcome using your smile and positive nature. Okay. Keen to be part of something you believe in, providing fun while having fun at work. I don't believe that.
I hate that because it is never true.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I believe that you can have fun while being at work.
For
but
sure.
No one who's ever been a boss has actually wanted that.
Yeah, no one who's ever said having fun at work has ever delivered on that.
If they see you having fun, they'll knock that shit out.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay, then it says open list to learn, grow, and develop skills. What skills, man?
Yeah.
I mean, you're Snoopy.
It's just like breathing exercises while wearing that giant helmet.
The skill is just being comfortable being real hot.
Yeah.
Commitment to your team by being on time and working scheduled shifts. Okay, fine. And then it says desire, and I believe this one, to be outdoors for extended periods in all weather conditions.
That, first of all, desire is crazy.
Desire.
It's a crazy word.
Yeah. Hurricane Snoopy, come on.
That means what that means, especially in California, is you're going to be in a 200-degree suit.
Yeah, it's going to be so hot.
Yeah.
And you're going to get heat stroke.
Yep. Well, and that's the post. That's the deal. So, I mean, obviously none of us are invited. But what do we say? Fuck this place? Or I know for a fact I could get a second interview. I mean,
I don't think I could get a second interview because I think
you're
that,
comic.
But like, I think that the person interviewing me would see halfway through, like, my facial expressions change as I realize what the job was. And then it would be like a thing where we'd be like, oh, maybe I'll call you. And then that's, and
get
that's
real
it.
quiet.
And that's it. Yeah. And so I don't think I could get a second interview. I don't think I could.
I think I could.
Yeah. So
well,
fuck this place.
I'm good with people.
Mm-hmm. Good with people for a spell, I think.
That's it's extremely hurtful. Let me put it this way. My neighbors in my building absolutely love me. I've driven them to the airport. They've bought me groceries. I've bought them groceries.
Yeah, but let me just pause. You're a good person, Newman. I don't know if that means you are good with people.
I will add an addendum to my previous statement. That is, I am good with people when I want to be good with people.
Yeah.
And then other times I am very mean and cranky and easily annoyed.
All right, yeah, I agree 100% with every part of that statement. Okay, so then we got two people who could get maybe second interviews and one definite fuck this place. All right, so posting number 2. What's up?
Also, I'm sorry, but just Caribbean soloist. Boysenberry performers.
That must be a section of the park.
I mean,
don't
that's
know.
what it's Knott's Berry Farm. That's how it started.
Oh.
They were selling berries. I swear to God.
Yeah. No, I do know that, Laurel.
And they started having like little fun things while people were waiting in line for the berries. And then it turned into a theme park.
How many people were in line for a berry?
Enough.
Enough to where they were like, we need roller coasters.
Also, what is the
We really got to kill some time here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We're moving on.
Yeah.
So the next job post says musicians, Caribbean soloist with Carnival Entertainment. This is posted 5 days ago, so real optimistic for Carnival Entertainment, in my opinion.
Or they just don't care. They're part of the group of people that just don't give a fuck.
Overview. The Caribbean soloist provides an authentic island experience as a steel pan entertainer.
Dick, I love steel drums.
Oh, yeah. This musician delivers high energy, engaging, and fun entertainment to our guests on select ships in the Carnival fleet.
Oh, man. They are really, what's the word? Optimistic.
I mean, real optimistic. This performer
Isn't there still a Carnival ship that is literally floating across the world because no one will let them dock?
I think that's over, but that was happening for a while.
I don't think it is. I think they were supposed to
I think they're still out there and they still need a drummer.
Well, they got to Florida and then Florida was like, actually, no, we can't take you. Sorry.
Oh, right. Maybe that's true. Well, if you guys are listening to this, if you're on that Carnival cruise line, because they got Wi-Fi.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry. And we're sending a drummer out to you ASAP.
What is the band like on that ship right now?
Are they high energy and engaging? Oh, then it says, this performer entertains on our outside decks in our Red Frog pub. Ooh, baby. With our Rock Band 2.0 with the DJ anywhere that we can infuse the island vibe. So they've named everywhere on the ship as far as I'm concerned.
Well, they haven't mentioned in the hallways, in the restaurants, which are all places that you could
in the restroom when you're in there.
The island vibe, as far as I'm concerned, the island vibe is a state of mind, and relegating it to just outside is not very island.
Yeah, it's a good point. Although the steel pan is pretty loud, so maybe that's one other reason. Okay, responsibilities. Delivers on Carnival's brand of live music entertainment by providing high energy and engaging entertainment as scheduled by the shipboard entertainment management. Long sentence to say, do your job.
Yeah.
Then it says, entertains in assigned venues up to 5 hours per day.
That is too long.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do we think about that time? I mean...
That's okay, so... This is a music thing, so it's sets, right? They're like, what?
Yeah. Hour-long sets. You get 5 hour-long sets.
5 hour-long sets.
Or 30 minutes and with a break and then 30 minutes. Or
right.
moving around the 30 minutes here, 30 minutes here,
30 exactly.
minutes here.
Yeah. 30 minutes in the kitchen.
Your work day's 10 hours. But you're only playing for 5, something like that.
So maybe carrying all your own instruments around different parts of the ship and
it's just one instrument.
You just carry your garbage can. Yeah.
Wait. There's no way this guy isn't playing with a fucking ensemble. Or do you think this dude is just playing alone?
I do think that at times this person is playing alone because it said entertains on our outside decks in a red. And then it says, in one part of the sentence, it says with the rock band, with the DJ. I think in the other parts of this, for instance, outside decks, Red Frog Pub, or anywhere we can infuse the island vibe, you're solo. Maybe there's another pan player.
I think they're making you basically play a character like in a cartoon. Like, in cartoons how some characters just have every job in the city.
Yeah.
I think that's who they want you to be on this ship. Like everywhere the guests go, they're like, hey, there's that guy again who plays on a barrel.
This is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. I mean, and also, there's so many reasons it's a nightmare. So in the list of the responsibilities, commitment to Carnival service values. I'm sure that is an extreme, I bet you the actual service values is the longest sentence of all time. You know what I mean? Like, we commit to kindness to our guest, doing the right thing whenever possible, and giving actual dollars to our supervisors. You know what I mean? Like, it's probably like this mission statement that is years long.
What the actual commitment is to covering up deaths of the elderly on cruise ships and making sure everybody gets norovirus.
But making it feel fun.
But with an island vibe. So it's
like you're tossing old people off the ship, but in rhythm, like in little dance. You're doing a lot of hip movement as you're tossing 90-year-olds off the ship.
I would love a t-shirt that says, I'm infused with the island vibe.
Hell yeah.
Or anything about an island vibe.
Island vibe, yeah, for sure. Then it says, complies with all company operational procedures, blah, blah, blah. Performs ship safety function, including port manning as required. Don't know what that is, port manning.
Port manning is Eli Manning's brother.
Peyton and Eli's other brother, Port.
And he's always on ships.
He was really into safety. He wasn't so much into football.
Qualifications are where we really get into it. Musically talented steel pan player. The ability to sing is preferred. Now, that's not good. Think about having to sing for 5 hours a day. Like, I could play, you could fuck your way through a steel pan for 5 hours, but singing, that's hard.
Also, what song?
Yeah.
Are you doing pop versions of?
Oh, definitely.
On steel pans?
Oh, for sure.
Like,
I bet you they're making you do, like.
Do you think they're making you play Under the Sea?
Just
yeah, dude.
100%.
Either that or there's an absolute and total ban on that song.
I mean, there might be. It's not public domain. They might.
That's what I'm saying. For copyright reasons, it could be like, don't you ever play something that sounds even remotely.
They play the commercially available version of Beneath the Ocean.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh God, Submerged in Water. Okay.
With Sebastian the Crab.
Sebastian.
And Flounder. Sebastian and Flounder. Okay.
I'm just imagining like a flounder, like I guess like either like a puppet or a costume.
Oh my God! I'm sorry, Chase.
I know.
I just read to the
can't
next
read ahead.
one.
Did you?
Shit!
I've read to. Just move to it, Chase.
Okay.
I want to talk about it.
It says a 175 song repertoire of Caribbean and American top 40 mainstream hits from the 70s through today.
175 songs that you have to know how to play on a steel pan.
Okay, hold on, because there are a couple things I want to say here. I've had friends that were in like cover bands, like wedding bands and stuff.
Yeah.
And they just, people could make requests and they'd be like, play Purple Rain or whatever.
Right.
Or whatever, and then they'd just be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Because it's like part of the job, and it's like the people that went to music school.
Right.
But I have to imagine. Have you either of you been to Disneyland?
Yes. Well, Disney World. I've been to Disney World.
First of all, why does Disney World have like a French Quarter, or Disneyland have a French Quarter? Why is that part of Disney's whatever?
Couldn't tell you.
They have like the New Orleans part, and they have those like that brass band.
Mm.
But those guys still have little books in front of them. Because they can all sightsee. So I have to. They can all sight play, but I still have to imagine you have that. I don't think any. Can you name 175 songs that you know right now?
Nope. It's like if that was me, like what? It just bugs me because it's a steel pan, and I'm not saying you can't get a lot of different noises out of a steel pan, but I mean, what you're like? Okay. First, we're gonna do "Tonight" by the Smashing Pumpkins. And I guess Happy Birthday. I don't know what other song I can play on this.
I love the Smashing Pumpkins.
I mean, that's also a very long period of popular music. 70s to 2020.
That's a long time, dude.
Yeah.
Top 40 mainstream hits from the 70s to today. Although for a fact you have to have. But I will say that in that span, there's a couple of them that you gotta have. Like "Don't Stop Believing," you know what I mean? Sure. Like "Beat It," shit like that.
But it's just
that's an insane ask.
But you're with your guitar players and your singers, and they can all switch. But you're still just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna hit this piece of steel. Like it's like saying 175 songs on like the tambourine.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I think the instrument
do you really know that many songs? Or do you know 4 and you keep rotating in and out of and telling me, no, this is it?
Yeah. I mean, I think you have a point, Newman. I think there's a few more notes.
But also Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
How many Caribbean songs do you know?
Yeah, it's a good point. 175
How many repertoire. Caribbean songs could you recognize?
Couldn't tell you. Other than
0.
Below the Ocean.
I think there's only like 4 or 5 that were ever actually written, I think. So
there's probably a lot, but I don't know. I'm not going to be like, play White Ocean Sand.
Yeah.
The 1980s Caribbean hit.
White ocean sand. Okay, we're just gonna move on because that's an insane sentence, and maybe there's more. So the next bullet point is outgoing personality and flexible personality. I appreciate the double use of personality.
Which one is it, Carnival Cruises? Do you want me to be outgoing, or do you want me to be whatever you want me to be?
And this is very interesting.
This is a very problematic sentence.
Very troublesome. Ability to authentically represent the culture, music, and humor of a nation within the Caribbean islands.
Oh, fuck.
So,
Not good.
That is like, they're like, look, we want, like, racism is tough to pull off, and we want to know that you can do it.
Yeah. I mean,
What is the humor?
Yeah.
A nation within the Caribbean islands.
Yeah.
The music culture and humor of a nation within it.
They love jokes like this in the Caribbean.
It's all just like crab material.
Folks in Bermuda love that one.
I'm gonna just keep walking sideways back and forth like a crab. It's gonna kill.
I would guess that this sentence is a whisper of the fact that, like, we are only hiring people of color to be in this position.
Who either
can
are from the Caribbean or
pretend-
can, like, who can stereotypically represent the people of the Caribbean.
You can sound like
100%.
Sebastian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sebastian.
Yeah, that's much better than asking everyone to give you a good "yeah, man." Like in your audition.
I would also absolutely love to see the white guy that does get this job.
Yeah. Oh, because that has definitely happened.
Oh, for sure.
Like he's like the Eminem of this.
Yeah, and he's just like he's like a strawberry blonde guy with strawberry blonde dreadlocks, but he's just like is so into it and is just like loves it.
Yeah, he's like Carrot Top level
and
jacked.
Yeah, and everyone's kind of like, this is kind of fucked up, and everyone's like, no, he just, this is really who he is.
He's really good. Yeah.
And there's like a lot of debate within the Caribbean world about whether or not he is the greatest of all time, because there's always like that in the back of their minds that he was white.
Right. But like he made this far being white, so it's like, wow.
Yeah. Did it help him? Did it hurt him? We don't know here in the Caribbean. It's up for debate.
Okay, then it says demonstrated ability to create and lead a party. I kind of expected that one.
What
does that mean? Like a conga line?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or he's just get people excited and get people like old people, like as they walk by you to like for a moment, like do a little spin dance, and you're like, oh, she's got it.
I mean, we're gonna blaze through. We only have like a couple more here. So it says, applicable performing experiences on cruise ships, resorts, hotels, and high traffic tourist areas. Yeah, we get it. English fluency and near perfect diction are required. What does that mean? Diction.
It's I mean, this is. I will also say I feel incredibly uncomfortable talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird shit in this.
Because whether the person that they hire is a white or from the Caribbean or like a person of color or whatever, I cannot imagine that what they want is not a offensive stereotype.
Correct.
Already.
I think that like that's just their way of saying they don't want you to be that much of a minority. Like
God, that's a really
like I think that they're just like
sad and fucked up.
I think that's what that means.
Point.
I think that like they're like, we want you to look the part and kind of be, we don't want you to like really be.
We actually want you to,
like,
yeah.
You know, like we want to feel like you're a great actor. Is how we want you to feel.
When it's over, we just want to talk golf.
How many parrots do you think are on this ship?
Couldn't tell you. I would say none. I would say a bunch of fake ones, a bunch of like.
Oh, you don't think
there's parrots?
You don't think there's a guy that has?
Like, no.
Yeah. I was gonna say like maybe 2 or 3.
There's a parrot walk around guy. Okay, that's fair.
100%. God, parrots are so sick.
We're going to leave that statement
parrots.
right there. Ability to perform safety functions and meet medical requirements, including standing while performing. Yeah, I get it. Okay, then submission requirements. Resume outlining previous musical employment, education, and performance experience in PDF format. Very specific. Then it says complete song list containing minimum of 175 to 200 songs, PDF format. Link to videos that demonstrate your ability to provide high energy, interactive, and fun entertainment with the instrumentation required for this position. And last but not least, promotional photo. And that's the post.
There is no way in hell I could get a second interview.
Absolutely, absolutely not.
No way in hell.
But
My
I-
best day.
But I know these people. I do know these people.
Yeah.
But no,
and the
there's-
last thing that we've not talked about is simply that this job doesn't exist.
And honestly, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, first of all, I don't know who is getting on a cruise in 2020.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I'm not even talking about, I'm talking about pre-coronavirus. Like, pre-coronavirus, if someone was like, Newman, I have tickets for you for a free cruise, I would have been like, are you fucking high?
But we're not cruise people. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, no. I think the cruise industry walks a razor thin line of being viable
yeah,
before this.
I agree.
And I can't imagine. I mean, maybe there'll be like one cruise ship after this, and it'll be like
I know. I think
fucking
they're gonna.
Snowpiercer.
I mean, I think they're gonna get. Man, that'd be a tight sequel.
That would be dope. Like a derelict, like post-apocalyptic island cruise ship.
Man, so yeah, this job doesn't exist. It's not gonna exist for quite some time, and even once the cruise industry comes back after they get bailed out by us,
What psycho cruise company is going to be like, we're going to risk it?
I think every cruise company is gonna.
Carnival's going to do it.
Yeah.
Have either of you ever been on a cruise?
I have
No.
not.
I went on one when I was a kid. But when I think
don't.
about it now, I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to get fucking like athlete's foot and chlamydia in the same
In the same trip.
2-week period. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
straight.
distrust.
He's foot and chlamydia.
Okay, so then can't get second interview. Fuck this place.
Yeah, fuck this place.
Hey, what's up?
guys?
What's
Nick
up,
and Chase
everybody?
here. Nick,
Wanted to remind you that you can text.
give us a shout, guys.
You
Let
can give us
know
a shout in a voicemail
Yeah.
or text.
at 470 Bad Jobs.
You like while you're listening to this.
Yeah,
you can
right
be
now.
like, I'm listening to your fucking bumper ad.
Yeah.
For your own podcast.
You're at work right now. Your boss is yelling at you. And you know what? Because you're listening to this podcast, fuck your boss.
Yeah, for sure. Just start texting right
Yeah,
then.
right now. Pull out your phone right now in front of your boss right now. Fuck him. Fuck him.
Yeah, just do
You
it.
look him right in the eyes. You text 470 Bad Jobs.
And you say, I'm texting a podcast called Fuck This Place. You know who I'm
And
talking
he's going to be like, oh, no.
And you know who I'm texting about?
Yeah. Please, not me.
Or he'll be like, I'm such a fan.
Yeah, yeah.
That could happen. We managers are welcome to listen to this podcast.
Yeah, I don't think they'll like it, but yeah.
I don't think they're going to like it, but what if you're not a bad manager?
Uh-huh. Well, then I never met you.
Yeah, but either way. Yeah, so, you can text or again, leave a voicemail.
470 Bad Jobs, guys. Again, 470 Bad Jobs.
That's the way it is. So thank you so much. And back to the show?
Back to the show.
We're trying out some new stuff, Newman. So you're going to be like a guinea pig. We're trying to figure out more games for returning guests and stuff.
So job interviews are shitty. They're real bad. And what we were thinking about was, wouldn't it be nice if everyone could answer interview questions honestly? This segment is called Honest Interview. And we're going to ask you typical interview questions. I would say what we're going to try to do this go round is we're going to pick your first job that you talked about on the first pod, which I don't remember off the top of my head what it was. But what was your first job?
Nick asked me earlier. I think like the first like real job I had was I worked at Buffalo Exchange in the Valley.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And then you kept calling them about your medication.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just say it's Buffalo Exchange. We'll just leave it there.
My sister loves your episode, Newman, and she like brings up how that story all the time. It's so funny.
Yeah. So what we'd like to do, this is a concept we're testing on you, Newman, is we'd like for you to answer these questions with the foresight you have now, but for that first job. Does that make sense?
Okay.
For instance, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I don't fucking right now dead.
No, I don't. I'm saying.
Hey, that's my answer.
I'm saying. Okay, I'd be curious to know what you would try to answer where you see yourself in 5 years at that time, and the honest answer of where you arrived 5 years after that first job.
Yeah. So when you were 16, correct? At Buffalo Exchange.
Yeah.
So where would you in your head at 16, where would you think to see yourself in 5 years? Where at that time in your life did you think you'd see yourself in 5 years?
Oh man, that's a long answer.
Well, we'll get there.
I think I would have said I am going to be I'm going to be a touring musician. I'm going to be in a band, and I'm going to be a touring musician.
Steel drums?
No, would not have been steel
Okay.
drums.
What do you play, Newman?
Baby, I play it all.
Nice.
I started playing the drums when I was 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I played the drums for a long time, and then I played bass in a band for a few years. I can play the guitar, I can play the bass, I can play the drums and stuff. The drums is the one I was like the best at.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, I've been doing those things long enough.
By the time you're 16, you were already multi-instrumental.
No, not so much actually. It was mostly like drums at that point.
Okay.
But now,
were you in a band at the time?
Yeah.
At 16?
Yeah.
What was your band called?
I was in. Oh god, this name is so bad. And not only is it bad, but I found out very recently that we were saying it wrong.
Hilarious.
I was in a band called Nat Love, NAT space LOVE.
Nat Love.
Nat Love, and it was for nationalist love because we were nationalists. It's a joke. It's a joke. It was if you remember the math rock craze of the mid 2000s.
Sure, yeah.
We're talking Battles. We're talking Terra Mellos, Maps and Atlases. We're talking Hella. The drummer Zach Hill is now in the famous Death Grips.
No, I don't remember that.
Okay. You don't remember that?
Dillinger Escape Plan? I don't know.
No, Dillinger Escape Plan is like hardcore. But Nat Love was the first. God, what was he? He was a former slave who had been freed, and he became the first black man that had his own ranch, and he had white like cowboys working for him. And forgetting how problematic that is, as me being in a band named after that guy.
Yeah.
But his name was pronounced Nate Love.
That's classic right there.
I mean, it was the 90s. What are you gonna do?
So where you wanted to see yourself in 5 years was like, I want to be touring.
Music. Yeah. It was just, I'm going to be music.
Yeah.
I'm going to be music.
5 years from 16 is 21.
Yeah.
Where were you at 21?
I turned 21 in Chicago when I was living out there in Chicago. Great impression.
Oh, yeah. I've never been.
Mike Ditka.
Hey, I was going to school in Chicago for audio engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago was cool. School was just abysmal. But then at the end of that year, I got accepted to transfer to CalArts, which is a school out here.
Yep.
And that is a very good school in the arts. And so then I ended up, I started at CalArts a little bit after I turned 21 in May, and I started there in September.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was at CalArts, and when I was there, I was doing it. I wasn't touring, but I was playing shows and making music, and I was fully like doing music.
Man, 16-year-old Newman knew.
Yeah, you knew.
I mean, I didn't really try anything else, but yeah.
No.
Yeah, but you know. All right, so another interview question is, tell me about, and this is, again, if you are 16 years old and you're at this job interview and you had to answer this question honestly, tell me about the toughest decision you had to make in the last 6 months.
And I'm answering it but from when I was 16.
Yeah. We're talking to 16-year-old Newman.
Yeah. What did he honestly think was the toughest decision he had to make in the last 6 months? Or, nearby time.
Man, this answer is really going to blow you out of the water. I thought I got AIDS when I was 16.
You thought you got AIDS when you were 16?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I thought I had AIDS. There was there is a rationale for why I thought that. It's not like I was just walking through the fucking park and I was like, oh, I think I have it.
Yeah.
There was some stuff that went down. It became very clear very quickly that I did not, to me and many other people.
Mm-hmm.
But that is the moment that truly triggered like full-on OCD that has followed me from then until now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing I was grappling with at the time.
Did you have any decisions to make about that?
I mean, I should have decided to get tested, but I was too freaked out.
Got it. So that was the decision then. you know,
I mean, but I didn't even make the decision because I was just like the concept. The only reality I could envision was I go to get tested, and then they just say, "Yeah, you are HIV positive."
Right.
And I want to say also for anyone that's listening, which is like, you know,
There's people listening.
thousands and thousands of people.
Shut up, Newman.
I am not by any means making fun of the disease. I'm not making light of it. I truly did think that I had it, and it was an extremely traumatizing thing. So anyone that is listening, or anyone at all that knows someone that has it or does have it or anything like that, I just want to be very clear that I'm making fun of myself.
Sure.
Because of that belief, not because I think like, isn't that so funny?
Yeah. No, I catch it.
I know you and Nick probably do.
Yeah. I'm not offended or anything. I think that, like, I remember as a kid, I was on a bus and a bum spit on me, and I thought I had every disease after that.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, I mean,
were there specific circumstances? I mean, like,
are you talking to me or talking to Nick?
Well, I know the bum spit, so I'm good on that one.
Yeah.
Bum spit,
crazy
bum spit.
Circumstances. He was just a bum, and he spit at me when he was talking.
Bum spit is a great, like mid '90s, early 2000s new metal band name.
Yeah.
Like Linkin Park. Bum
yeah.
Spit.
Well, I would say more just like a pop punk thing.
I would say Bum Spit is earlier than Linkin Park.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Bum Spit kind of reminds me of Tool.
Okay.
Maybe. I feel like Bum Spit would open for Tool.
Yeah.
Like,
but the fans wouldn't like them. That's what I think.
Well, what are you gonna do? Can't please everyone.
But you don't have to answer this, Newman. But was there a specific set of circumstances that led you to believe? Like, I mean, was there bloodborne pathogens at play, or?
It was a broken condom.
Got it.
It was a broken condom. Yeah, it was not good. I mean, it was fine. Obviously, it turned out okay. I didn't have it. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But the difference between, because a lot of people would be freaked out in that kind of situation. Nick says, he got spit on by a bum and he freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between a quote unquote normal brain and an OCD brain or an anxiety brain is that you freak out. Everyone freaks out about whatever thing. And then at some point your brain goes, okay, I freaked out about that enough. I'm probably fine, whatever. But the OCD anxiety brain, you don't get to that point.
Yeah.
You're just continuously going, and it lasts for a long time.
Yeah, it sure does.
I also was stealing a lot at the time when I was 16.
Okay. Yeah. What were you stealing?
Fucking clothes, baby. The stealing clothes was, and this is like such a classic answer, but like everyone was doing it.
Uh-huh.
And when you're a kid, even 16, I didn't have any fucking money. I had money that my parents gave me, but I wasn't like
flush with cash.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when I worked at Buffalo Exchange, I guess I made some money. And there were other times right after I got out of high school, I had a pretty good job for about a year, and I made a fucking ridiculous amount of money for a 18-year-old recent high school graduate. The stealing thing, it's just like, I don't want to buy this, and it's just, you're just a fucking kid. I don't know.
Yeah, and also I think when you're a kid, you kind of want some consequences, or like a little, you just want the danger, and so there's lots of different ways people do that, but one of them is stealing shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do 2 more questions. And
sure. Sorry that I talk so much, guys.
No, not at all.
No, that's why you're here, Newman. You're here to talk, baby. Okay, so another honest interview question. At age 16, what do you consider to be your biggest professional achievement? And of course, when you're 16, you have no professional achievements whatsoever. So it's a difficult question.
No, but I was playing in bands and stuff.
Mm-hmm. It was something you were super proud of at that time.
I had played at the Roxy on the Sunset Strip.
Okay.
A lot, which is really strange because in the 80s, 70s and 80s, that place was like fucking the shit.
Yeah.
But then when I was a kid, like when I was like middle school, teenage years, it was a pay to play venue. Do you know what that is?
You have to pay to play.
So you
like pay to play open mics.
Yeah, you call them and you're like, we want to have a show, and they're like, okay, and they print up tickets, and then you have to sell a certain amount of tickets
in order to even get in there,
and even in order to play.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just like, okay, here, and then essentially, if you don't make the money from the show,
right,
you just have to pay it out of pocket to play there.
Yeah.
But it was like when I would go there in middle school, high school, it was like so sad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's made a huge comeback in the last few years, which I guess makes me happy. But probably that. I had played at a bunch of venues. I played at the Key Club. I played at the Whiskey
Go-Go.
Whiskey A Go-Go. I played at the Roxy. But probably that. I think I played Gene Simmons' son's birthday party with my band when I was probably like 13 or 14.
Okay.
Did you meet Gene Simmons?
I have met Gene Simmons several times.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he cool?
He was always cool to me.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
cool.
probably not
Cool.
cool. I think you're right.
I have heard he doesn't seem to be a very good guy.
Yeah.
But he was always nice to me.
But he's always nice to cool. Was he? Does he know you first name basis?
Yeah.
Nice.
I went to middle school with his kids.
Nice.
And I would go over there. I remember for his son's like maybe 13th or 14th birthday, I got him a gift certificate to a music store, which like fucking why? Did I get him anything? But I had put the gift certificate. In a. I bought a Kiss CD.
Tight.
And I put the gift card in the Kiss CD, and his wife laughed. So they were like, "Oh my god, it's so funny!"
Yeah. Look at this idiot kid giving us two things we don't give a fuck about.
I went bowling with him once,
Mm.
and I got a pretty good score. I'm a pretty okay bowler. I'm not like fucking 250, but I'm like, I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I finished the game, and Gene Simmons leans down and he goes like, "Hey kid, you're good. You're good."
This is a pretty good Gene Simmons impression, even though I don't think I've really ever heard him talk.
It's spot on, but that's fine.
Thank you. Thank you for clearing that up. Okay,
I think that playing these shows on the Sunset Strip,
even though they were kind of disgraced venues at the time.
Yeah, but I'm saying when I was a kid,
of course they still felt big.
I was like, this is fucking awesome.
I mean, it is
crazy
pretty awesome.
venues.
Just to play venues where other people have, legends have played.
But like, even though it's come back around again now, I'm still embarrassed because it's so fucking lame. But I have seen some good shows there in my day.
So, last honest interview question, and this is at age 16. Tell me how you think other people would describe you.
Fucking awesome.
That's what you would say at 16? You'd be like, these people think I'm awesome? Yeah,
I think I had a very. I don't think I have a very. Oh, man, this is a hard question for me specifically. Maybe for anyone.
No, it's not an easy. These are like awful interview questions, in my opinion.
I've always had friends, and I've always been good at making friends. The answer, maybe people be like, he's fucking crazy.
I think that would be something very funny for a 16-year-old to say, though, too. Like, as like a for real skill. It's like, well, I've always had friends. It's like, yeah, you're a kid. That's mostly no, but I mean, like,
that's your number one assignment.
I've always been very social.
Yeah.
And I've been good at making friends and good at meeting people. But I am also like, for a very long time, was very like terrified that no one liked me and that people didn't like me and that I was fucked up, but also like very not aware of that when I was younger.
Right.
Like that I was an asshole or that I was like impossible or that I was fucking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've heard stories about myself in high school that like literally make me red in the face with how, and they're not fake. They're definitely real.
Right. Because you had like an inflated sense of your importance, or what do you like?
I'm sure the answer would vary from different people. I think I just didn't. I mean, first of all, there is as much as this sucks, there is just a truth that like I was a fucking kid. People are just fucking kids.
Yeah.
And they do fucked up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like kill a guy? What are you talking about?
I just like someone told me a story recently of this guy that I still know, and me. We went to high school together. I think I was a senior when he was a freshman, and I was walking off the quad at lunch. And I think I was like, Alex, what's up? And he was drinking a Gatorade, and I just swatted it out of his hands. And
hell yeah!
Oh, dude, yeah, fuck yeah,
just like shit like that. There was a girl I went to high school with that was friends with a lot of my friends, and we just didn't like each other. And I was a little piece of shit, and she was really into like Lord of the Rings and like elves and like Celtic myth and shit. And she came to school on Halloween one year in like wool capes, and like she looked like a fucking like Highlander, like someone in like a mythical wandering character in Lord of the Rings. And I went, hey, I like your clown costume.
And so you're just a mean person, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, but I didn't think
you thought it was fun and cool.
Well, I just thought that everyone knew that I was just fucking around, and that I was like,
right.
I think I was not self-aware enough at that time.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe everyone doesn't get the joke, or maybe I'm acting a little bit beyond my reach.
You sound like a supporting character in Hey Arnold. Like that's like how they acted.
My friend Elvis his brother started at my high school when he was, I think, freshman when I was a junior. And I'd met him before and apparently just been so dismissive. Like Elvis, we were at a show and Elvis was like, "This is my brother Max." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever." Anyways, dude. And then on his first day of high school, and he is 6'5", and I am not 6'5", nor was I in high school. I'm 3'8" for those listening. but I walked up to him and I was like, "You're Elvis's brother, right?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I literally just punched him in the balls and walked away.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. I paint I see a picture painting here.
And there was no retaliation from that giant of a man.
I don't know how big he was at the time. I think that was over that summer where, like, from following like summer of his freshman year into his sophomore year, he grew like 8 inches or something. And I mean, even now, and we're friends. I'm friends with both those guys. But he would kick my ass right now.
So I just want to clarify. You say initially that other people describe you as awesome. And that's,
no. I am saying what 16-year-old Newman
would have said.
Yeah. That I'm fucking wild and hilarious and crazy and like
righteous.
And he would just be wrong. Yeah.
I've always had the personality that the people that love me really love me, but then the people that hate me really hate me and hate me for the exact same reasons that the people that love me love me.
Oh.
Does that make any sense?
I think it makes a lot of sense.
For sure.
And I think I kind of, the character I personify.
Yeah.
Blah 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 society, we all wear different masks, whatever. But the one that I have filled, the bottle that I have filled is it's tough. It's a tough one to swallow. It's a tough pill to swallow. It's not easy for everyone. There's a reason people don't like me.
Yeah, all right. Well,
sorry. Did I really go off the rails?
No. Honest Newman would say there's a reason people don't like me. Yeah.
Yeah. This is honest answers. So
I'm difficult. I recognize that I'm difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I can be very annoying. I think I'm much less mean now, but I'm still very annoying.
Right. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I mean,
I've been getting compared to Larry David and Cartman since I was like 11. So
sure. Yeah. All right. Well, Newman, where can people find you on the internet if you would like to be found?
Oh yeah. Follow me at my Instagram is at Kim Kardashian. And just send me just anything you want. I don't care what, how racist, how horrible. No, that's not true.
Okay, got it.
My Instagram is at Newman Wolf Forever. It's just Newman Wolf. My name is
Wolf.
My name is.
We put it in the show notes too. So.
An adjective and 2 nouns. I have a Twitter too. It's just at Newman Wolf. Which the only reason I have it is because someone once told me how rare it is to get your own name, your name.
Right, and so you just signed up.
I had it already, and he was like, he asked me if I had it. I was like, yeah, but I never used it. And he's like, what is it? And I said, it's at Newman Wolf. He's like, are you kidding me? So I still have it. Whenever I go on Twitter, I'm just like, oh yeah, this is pretty racist and horrible. And then I'm like, why am I here?
Man, I love Twitter. You gotta curate that timeline, dude.
Dude, I don't understand how it works.
See, I hate Twitter too, and I only look at stuff I like, and I still hate it. I figured out who I truly hate by looking at who I've searched for on Twitter.
Yeah,
because it saves your searches and it saves all their pictures right up top. When I've gone into, I'll be like, I hate every one of these motherfuckers I'm looking at, and I've searched for every one of them.
That's why I love Twitter so much. It's just a fucking little shit show. All right, well, that's it. That's the pod. Thanks so much for joining us, Newman.
Thank you, Newman.
Boys, thank you so much for having me. I miss you all very much. I miss all the people from the stand-up comedy scene in Los Angeles. And
I feel the exact same way. I miss you, and I miss everyone from the scene.
I just found a pube in my laptop keys.
I miss you, Noom. I miss you.
All right, fuck this place. Okay, so we actually have a follow-up write-in. Is that what it is? A repeat write-in?
Yeah, they're coming back, which is an option.
100% an option. It's texting. It's the same thread that you already started. So this is Jordan, and if those, friends of the pod, people who listen, may recall that Jordan had an essential job that he was going to quit before this whole thing went down, and then he didn't, and then he wanted to talk to Nick, and so that was the summary of that conversation.
Tight.
And Nick is a real one. A homie for real, excuse me. So yeah, anyway, so you can see at the top here, I said thanks, and I'll be sure to pass it on, which I did, to be fair.
Yeah.
Then he said, well, you know what, let's get to that text in a second. Let's get to the actual meat here. It says, job update. My lab is going to start taking in people who've recovered from COVID to draw out their antibodies.
X-Men style science.
Yeah, as soon as someone says antibodies, you're in big trouble. Despite the fact that people who have recovered can still get it again. I'm totally getting this damn virus. Upside down smiley face. Okay, so we know.
They were like, hey, Jordan didn't get it the first time. Can we bring back some of those people?
Yeah. So now we know Jordan was working in some kind of lab, you know, like a sciencey lab, and or something has been converted into a lab. Could have been a garage, you know, like an auto body shop that's been turned into a testing lab. But anyway, that lab sucked because Jordan wanted to leave already, and now just can't because there's nowhere else to go. And much like other essential workers, is fully in the line of fire. And that is true that people can't, who have recovered from COVID so far, you know, we do know that it does live in the body for a while and they can possibly be contagious again.
Oh yeah, no, I don't, and again, I don't know anything about anything, but like I do think I read that it was like not that they were getting it again, but they still have it and they're reactivating it.
Super exciting for, you know, everyone finding that out. And it's obvious that Jordan is one of the people who may find out firsthand.
First-hand experience.
I also want to say one of the best uses of the upside down smiley faces I've ever seen in a text.
Yeah. I'm getting coronavirus.
Yeah. So Jordan, sorry, man.
Yeah, dude, that sucks, dude.
Also, this is a different text from Jordan, and he said, hey, just finished the latest episode, and this is the episode with Jeff Zinasek, and where he worked at Hollywood Video. And in Karen's defense, Karen is his supervisor, Hollywood Video carpet just hit different on bare feet.
Okay, I mean, okay, so this reminded me because in the Dan Petzold episode, Dan and I both had a mutual, we had the same English teacher in high school. Her name was also Karen, and she was also barefoot all the time. And we had a carpet in the class she was in, but she was just more of a hippie. I don't think it was about the carpet. But I will say I do think I remember it being the same kind of carpet as in a Hollywood Video.
That like super fucking thin carpet.
Yeah. Like it's that carpet that's like it's like if sandpaper had a nice cousin.
Yeah, for sure. It's almost a hardwood floor is what it is.
Yeah. So I don't know how I've been in my apartment quarantine for so long. I've been barefoot a lot and I hate it, but I also don't like dirty floors, so I try not to wear my shoes around so much. But I'm also used to wearing my shoes for like 11 hours a day when I'm outside with work or stand-up, so it's just like, I don't know, barefoot's not for me in almost any conditions. Yeah,
that's fair. I mean, I'm a lot more sympathetic to bare feet. I'm just going to go ahead and say you're going to get like ringworm if you walk in a Hollywood Video carpet with bare feet. So, you know, Jordan,
I had a lot of ringworm.
I just like the idea that Jordan, if you actually gave it a whirl, that means you had to have shown up without shoes, and then you took them off when you got inside.
Yeah. Jordan was a kid when Hollywood Video was out, and sometimes kids are barefoot.
That's a good point. Very good point.
You know? Or not, or just maybe Jordan ordered some carpet and then just like put.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you supporting Karen.
Yeah, we welcome all different opinions on carpet and being barefoot on it here on the pod.
For sure. I mean, but universally, and especially as a person who is testing antibodies to the world's greatest infection, I think you should know that it is physically unsafe for you to do so.
And just, you know, weird.
Also a little weird. Well, thanks for giving us an update, Jordan, and keep it coming. I'd love to hear how you're doing health wise.
I would love to hear. Keep us.
14 days or so would be nice. All right, great. Well, I feel good. Do you feel good?
Yeah, I feel great.
Fuck this place.
Fuck this place.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Don't forget to share the podcast and subscribe. Major shout out. Thanks again, Jordan, for your write-in. Really hope you're doing well. Please don't get coronavirus. I can't stress that enough. If you want to do write-ins, you can do it too. 470-BAD-JOBS. That number is in the show notes. Thank you so much. See you soon. We'll hear each other soon. Bye for now. Fuck this